Hello all, and in this video we are going to be talking about something in Logic Pro X that people sometimes are confused about, and I wanted to clear it up. There is this thing called track stacking, or creating track stacks. This can be done by, number one, choosing what instruments you want to stack. That is part A, choosing your sounds. So here I have Yamaha Piano Hall, which is one of my favorite patches to use. And I have a synthetic choir that I actually found on MainStage. I actually made a channel strip in MainStage where I had piano, guitar, synthetic choir, a church choir, and another pad on it. So I actually decided to sort of recreate a version of this for this particular project. Now, we have the church choir, we have the synthetic choir, and the Yamaha Piano Hall that I've chosen, and I actually want to choose yet another layer, and I'm going to go under synthesizer here on the left hand side, and I'm going to go to synthesizers. It's right in front of me. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select pads. Okay. And then the pad that I like to use the most is probably one of the most basic pads, which is basically the classic analog pad. So if you turn your keyboard on, like I'm about ready to do here, you'll hear it, and it'll sound like a regular, almost ambient sort of pad. There's the pad. Hope you guys could hear that. Comment if you can or can't. Also, I've got this church choir here. And I've got the synthetic choir here, which adds a little bit more ooh to the text. It adds a little bit more dark color to the other choir, so it kind of enhances that a little bit. And then we have our Yamaha Piano Hall. Now, if we wanted to create a track stack of these together, and what this does, by the way, is it will combine all four instruments to one mega instrument. It'll combine it into one solid sound that you can duplicate and use over and over again. So in order to make the track stack, you're going to have to shift command or shift spacebar on Mac, sorry, or shift and hit the trackpad. So shift and hit the trackpad is the one, and then it will highlight all of these. See, they're all highlighted, all the ones that I wanted to select to make the track stack. Then you're going to go on Mac, you're going to go Control, and you're going to say Create Track Stack, or you can go, I think it's Shift Command D, and it will ask you what sort of track stack type do you want to create. Now there's a folder stack and a summing stack. Summing stack is just going to give you just the plain appearance of what all of them will be like together, and every instrument will be hidden. Folder stack, it's going to have folders in the files for each of your instruments that you can tweak at a later time. So I'm just going to do summing stack. I usually do summing stack because it's just easier for me to get it on the go and hurry up with it. So so now you should see sum 4 with like a little yellow dial on the left hand side, and you should see it boxed around, and you should see a little arrow that's pointing down, and it has all your instruments that are in that summing stack showing right below the sum 4 or the sum stack box. If you click the other arrow, if you click the arrow up here on the left, it will hide them. So showing is the down arrow, across, showing across is the hiding. So if it's the across arrow, it's hiding all your track stack instruments, and if it's down arrow, it's going to show all of your instruments. Okay, so now when you play, let's say I hide that. Now when you play, and let's say you have all those sounds together, but you don't like the volume level of some of them. For me, the choirs don't need to be quite so high, so you can show the track. You can click the arrow to show each individual track, and then you can heighten the piano a little bit and soften the analog pads, the church choir pad, and everything else. You can soften that to your liking. Let's say you don't want a lot of the church choir in, you can just make the either mute it or make it go even softer. And that's basically what we can do. We can do the same thing with the synthetic choir as well. And you keep playing around with those volume settings until you find the perfect match for you. You can also center pan the piano. Maybe you can have slightly to the right the synthetic choir. Classic analog pad can be slightly to the left. The church choir could be slightly to the right. And you can basically play around with the mix until you have it exactly the way you want it in your ears. I personally like this sound. But you can turn the sum 4 box that has all your instruments in it, you can turn them up as a group. And there you have your own track stack, your own instrument that you can copy, and you can actually copy and paste it into other projects. If you want to save it, you can do all that. What I would do is I would probably go and create a new file, and I would save the sum as the summing stack as a template, and just have that instrument as a template in there. You can go to save as template and it'll do it. Or you can, you could save as, such and such an instrument. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment me. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.